Broadcasting from the WCSB studios at the top of the Kohl Center in Cleveland, Ohio, it's Diamondbacks, the Cleveland Softball League podcast. On this week's Cleveland Softball League podcast, we have co-commissioners Matt Jauch and Jay Kristoff.
Tuning into the inaugural Diamondbacks Cleveland Softball League podcast. I'm your host, Graham Beck. With me is co-founder and co-commish from the Clark Division, Matt Jauch, co-founder, co-commish from Gordon Division, Jay Kristoff.
From the Gordon Division, back-to-back Gordon Division champion.
Back-to-back losers.
Back-to-back show-offs is what it is. No, yeah, you're right. Back-to-back, going to the playoffs, going to the big game. Finals.
Hey.
The big show.
All we really care about is winning the Gordon Division.
Yeah. Is that it? Just better than our adversaries. Obviously, you guys have done this back-to-back. The league has been probably in the semblance that we all know it for the past maybe 4 years. But
we're celebrating our fifth season this year.
Fifth organized season, but it's actually extended past that. So why don't you guys kind of talk about like the very beginnings before it was what it is now?
I can start this, Matt, and then kind of hand it off. Well, I'd say around 2003 is when we really started playing pickup games, and it was an assortment of Cleveland people. It was about the time people start figuring out Friendster and Facebook. We would just be like, hey,
Friendster.
If anybody wants to go play softball, we're going to go down to Clark Fields. And Clark Fields at that time was somewhere where we could go down to cook out, never really worry about people. It was kind of a ghost town at that time, and the fields were all in shitty condition. And we'd play sparingly, maybe twice a month or something. And then it started picking up attention. In 2006, there was a notorious incident where the Free Times had contacted us about... At the time, online, it was called Punk Rock Softball. People would come out, cook out, drink. There might be between, say, 15 and 20 people playing on each team. And then... The cops would see us and they would stop and watch our games, and they knew that we'd clean up our mess, and that was, it was a cool novelty thing. And so the Free Times knew that we were doing this and asked if they could interview us, and we said no. We said, we don't want anybody to know where we play, we don't know what we do, this and that. There's no benefit to us. And they kind of pushed it like, this is a great thing you guys are doing. We should come out and do an article on it, because there's other people that are doing a similar thing where they're getting people out doing stuff. And so we said, okay. And then the article came out, and there was stuff like, there's people with meth in their Gatorades, which I don't know how you could do that. They interviewed...
Does it work in liquid form?
I don't know. Well, yeah, I thought it had to be... I don't know. My experience with meth stems from Breaking Bad, so I really don't know.
They interviewed...
I've never done the meth.
They interviewed Bubba, and Bubba, which everybody should know who Bubba is. Bubba...
Brian O'Connor?
Yeah, and he told them that, the cops jerk off in their cars.
As a joke, right?
Joking, yeah.
He was kidding around.
Joke.
Yeah. And
he was high off a win. He was just joking around.
And there were several other things that go on. And, the truth of the matter is that we really were having cookouts. People were drinking beers. There was people with their kids and stuff. Shitty family softball. Don't confuse this with the softball you see now. We were talking about earlier, there's people standing on second base when they play second base, standing on the base they were playing. And it was, anyway, everything that we were hoping it wouldn't be with the article. That's what happened. So we moved from that.
Some bad press.
Yeah. We didn't play much in 2007, and then because of that, we were kind of hiding. We didn't want to go to the police officers that were so cool to us. All of a sudden, we're supposed to go to their fields after that article in this rag came out. So then we ended up, when we started playing again, we called it Clark Field Softball. And Matt was really a part of getting more people involved in the softball at that point. And MySpace, wait, was MySpace? No, Facebook.
Were we still on Friendster at that point? Were we off Friendster?
I think it was AOL.
I think we were MySpace at that point.
Facebook kind of blew it out, where that's all of a sudden where all these people start showing up.
Of course.
I moved to New York, and I came back, and at that point there was 4 of us that were setting up softball kind of at different weekends, and we eventually decided to come together. And
well, that was actually Denny Lewalk and Ron Kretsch were the 2 other people. There was 4 of us in the very beginning that were kind of organizing it, making it happen. And I remember, you went to New York City in 2008. 2009, you were back, and then we had the MySpace page. And you made a little graphic or a flyer. You were like, oh, we're going to have some tournaments. We're like, oh, okay.
It had G.G. Allen on it.
I remember people bleeding from their head,
nice.
And softball bats. Yeah, G.G. Allen was involved.
G.G. Allen, and it was like a shot where it'd be him eating shit. Instead, he had a softball glove and he was holding a ball. And there was Pete Townsend swinging his guitar was switched out with a bat. And
nice.
It was some dumb. It was I'm so much better at Photoshop now. Real. If you guys see this flyer, if this flyer's popping up on the YouTube page or whatever, I'm just saying I can rock it on Photoshop now.
I kind of like the old school punk, Scotch tape and photocopy it. There's something to be said about those. But I digress.
So at that point, Jay makes his wacky flyer. He says we're gonna have some tournaments. So we're like, oh, we need to organize into some teams. So we easily got sponsors. We me, Jay, Denny, and Ron. We all came together. We formed teams. We kind of decided who was gonna be on the teams. And at that point, it was just friends playing together for fun. So we kind of did what made sense, and we formed teams.
The first 4. My Mind's Eye, Music Saves, Pats in the Flats, and
Now It's Class.
Now It's Class.
And Music Saves is my team. We went on to be ABC Tavern. But so we kind of formed teams. And like we were talking about earlier, a couple of the guys that ended up on my team were people that were in my Lottery League band in 2010. So, just kind of a thing, bring people together, have fun, do some shit. Have some laughs, make some memories. And we did these tournaments, and then I remember the first game of the first tournament thinking, whoa, this got real serious. You put jerseys on people, and it's an official thing, and it's whoa, this got serious.
Right?
But, it was still cool. It was fun. We had our official league umpires, Bubba O'Connor and Tony Merritt, who basically sat in the dugouts and got drunk, and you just kind of saw them over there laughing. And whenever it came to a close play, it was both the teams it was whoever won the screaming match won the call.
That was such
then.
a bad.
Terrible.
That was a bad idea, and I take blame for that.
Awful.
I thought at the time, we were just thinking how could we be softball yet anti, and it's hard to do both. And thought we could have these. We had really nice uniforms for them too. These real. I spent $20 on each one of their shirts just to have cool
zebra stripes, the whole thing.
Right. Well, okay.
League issue official.
Now you said Matt, you were with the original Music Saves, which is now
ABC Tavern.
ABC. So what happened there? Why the switch?
I sold the franchise. I figured that the fringe benefits of having a bar sponsor my team rather than an indie record store sponsor it would be way better.
Way better.
And it was. It turned out in the end to be a great decision on my part. Anytime I went in there, the one girl that plays on our team, Erica Coffey, I would be 3 feet through the door and she's just throwing beers at me.
There it
is.
It
was great.
There it is.
No, but we sold the franchise. There was a team that was sponsored by Chris Smith's pressing company, Flexivit. And so there was this Flexivit press team who ended up, most of those guys became Music Saves, but then the other half of it, which is Kung Fu Bob, a Cleveland character who most of you listening to this podcast probably know, him and his buddies split off and had the Kung Fu Bob's martial arts team.
Okay.
So there was the Flexivit, Kung Fu Bob's martial arts. I also believe at that time WCSB came into the mix.
And got a groove.
And got a groove. So then we had 8. We went from 4 to 8 teams. I think it was that first year in 2009 where it was strictly it was tournaments. We're just kind of getting it more organized in a pickup game.
Right.
So those 4 teams come on. By 2010, we actually made it a real league, and we added 2 more teams at that point, which would have been Cranky's Pub, which is now Rockefeller Barbershop. And there was one more that I can't remember.
But we love them.
Yeah.
Love yous.
So it went from 4 to 8 to 10.
At what
very
point
quick.
did Sam's come in? Did Sam's come in?
Sam's part of the expansion. I think Sam's is either when we went to 8 or when we went to 10. Sam's.
Well, we've got Happy Dog, ABC, Music Saves, Blazing Saddles, Rockefeller, Jack Prince, Crankset, Got a Groove, Grog Shop, Mind's Eye, Sam's, WCSB, Pats in the Flask. Now that's class. So
we have stellar sponsors.
Yeah, I'd say the most recent teams have been the Happy Dog, Grog Shop,
Jack
Prince, yeah, and but at this point,
within the past 3 years, we've brought on Happy Dog, Jack Prince, Grog Shop, Blazing Saddles used to be Rust Belt Welding, that used to be Palookaville Chili, which used to be Palookaville Death Punch, which used to be Kung Fu Bob's Martial Arts, which used to be Flexivit Press. So
gotcha.
there's a lot of history there that most people don't realize.
That's Blazing Saddles. That all stems from, holy hell, man.
Yes.
That's like every year a different change.
There's you know, with we've learned so much. I think we've both become better professional people just from doing this thing that we like doing, organizing this league. We look back and it's kind of comical when you look back, at old emails, look back at things we set up. There was a point where we were setting up the music for all the teams at bats and all this work that you realize, why the hell am I doing this?
Right. It's supposed to be fun.
And we're trying to get, I remember trying to give guidelines to the way people should be fair with setting up their lineups and this and that. And it was us trying, we had to evolve from the pickup league mentality where we're trying to be fair to everybody to become competitive, but yet still have the league be what it is. I mean, we're a DIY league that we want to have that last guy on the bench.
It's the last pick mentality, man. Like we've all, I mean, I know from experience, like I was the last pick in high school. So it's like getting into a league of like, we're all the last pick, it's like we're all involved now. We're all part of the same group.
I don't want to, and I never will be on one of these other softball leagues paying money. I'm never going to pay money to play softball.
No, it's ridiculous.
And we don't have to. We know how to set up games. We know how to get fields. We know how to organize everything. Me and Matt, we both like to operate spreadsheets, and it's easy and it's something that's
beautiful,
fun.
By the way.
And so that's the thing is it's naturally evolved. We've been playing now for 5 years, and teams want to win and want to get better, and people have gotten better. I would say on my team, my best one of my best hitters is somebody that the first year of the league I was batting last, and Andrew Arbogast. And,
Andrew Arbogast. He's a killer.
And there's players that have just naturally gotten better and gotten comfortable. It's kind of weeded out some of the stuff. Not that we've wanted anybody to leave the league, but the league just naturally became
natural selection.
Right.
Yeah.
Natural sports selection.
Right. In my own personal experience, I've only had one season under my belt last season with WCSB, but, I'm not a strong softball player by any stretch of the means, but...
You should be.
Yeah.
Why?
You look like that guy from Game of Thrones, the big redheaded.
God, everybody. Well, anyways, I'm ignoring that comment only because I've heard it multiple times. But it's cool, man, because
hopefully right now there's a side by side of you and the guy from Game of Thrones.
Right on the YouTube, yeah. Me scaling the ice wall, like ting, with a baseball bat in my hand. But it was cool, man. Like, it was such a non-ego thing with all the teams that we played. And from my experience, the lineups just reflected, look, we've got more than enough people, so we're just rotating in and out. You play here, you play there. Try to suit to who does what best, but overall, it doesn't really matter. Like, that's the main thing. It's like, have fun. And overall, it doesn't really matter.
We had a divisional split, and I feel like I'm hogging up the mic.
No, you're fine. Keep going. I can cut all of you.
There was a divisional.
We got tons of tape.
There was a divisional split at one point where we, decided, okay, this is the Gordon division, this is the Clark division.
That was last year. Because those divisions had existed, but we made a conscious decision. And we had feedback, too. Like, all of our decisions, we get a lot of feedback from players. We vote on shit. We talk about it. Very democratic.
We listen to the squeaky wheel sometimes too much.
We grease the squecky wheel quite a bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe to a certain extent, you probably have to, but,
we're bleeding heart sportsmen.
But then again, you can't please everybody.
No. But anyway, with the divisional split, and when you look at the different divisions, you can notice the difference by looking at the lineups. Like the Gordon division, I carry a team that's going to have 16, 17 people on it. A lot of the teams in the Clark division, they play with 11, 12 players, and that's the better game plan. Having somebody used to their position, somebody that already knows what the guy coming up afterwards has done, whatever. So there's a little bit of laid back, but there's competition. I don't think that either method is wrong.
The Clark division, the top three teams, I've seen people sliding into first base quite often.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you just got to
chime
do it.
In on that.
You just got to do it, man. Yeah. Like Chet Lemon.
The Clark division, people are going hard in the paint.
That's right.
That's what it's.
We've tried
Chet Lemon
to make
style.
We've had to make adjustments. I mean, there's things that rules we've had to make, even where we're talking about players wearing sunglasses and catching and stuff, and like dumb things that just come up.
All right, let's start with the Clark division. Our first place team, the Happy Dog, they brought in 6 new players this year. Co-captain Dave Gibeon claims that they're just bench reserves, but it might be something more.
There's 6 of them.
There are 6 of them. This is a team that's known for just having a very solid roster. Like Meg Oriole, gone. She's not there anymore.
And we have the insider knowledge. We see that one of their emails is goldglove14@hotmail.com.
Yeah, how are you going to have an email address goldglove14@hotmail.com? I mean,
whoa. Wait, hold on. Whose name is next to Gold Glove at Hotmail?
Gold Glove. It's John Healy. Do you know this John Healy, Jeremy?
John who?
John Healy.
John Healy. I know Jeff Healy. Remember that guy, Jeff Healy?
Yeah, from the Beaver Brown Band.
Played the slide guitar.
Yeah, blind.
Yeah, blind.
Eddie and the Cruisers.
Pat Swayze.
Yeah, I know Jeff Healy.
No, this is John. All right, John. It's John. We've got Jeremy Demery from All Dinosaurs. What the fuck?
You know, yeah. Who spells Jeremy with a G? Okay.
Yeah, Jeremy. You're Jeremy with a J, Jeremy.
Yeah,
right?
I'm Jeremy with a J. He's Jeremy with a G.
Yeah. What are we doing?
A little too close to Jeremy.
All right, we've got John Gibbion, Dave Gibbion's younger brother. A little bit of nepotism on the team. What do you think?
Amateur snuff filmmaker.
How many McGraths are on the Gotta Groove team?
Hey, we'll get to Gotta Groove.
You want to talk about nepotism?
Yeah, nepotism. Jesus Christ. McGrath, the case.
The soccer knees.
Soccer knees.
Soccer knees.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so that's the Happy Dog team. They brought on a lot of young gunner reserves. What do you think, Jeremy? It's the number 1 rated defense in the league. What do you think?
You know, if I'm being honest here, that's the one team that scares the shit out of me.
Right, me too. I mean, we respect their team immensely.
You look at that team up the middle. That's the best defensive team in the league.
For sure.
You're not getting too many things past Gibeon and Stony Cross.
In the late innings, though, on the offensive side, they you got to close it out in the late innings, right?
Oh yeah, you gotta.
I feel like they choked last year a number of times in late innings.
Yeah, let's take a shit break in the 6th inning. No, you still got to play, guys.
All right,
I don't want to think about that.
Let's move on to the ABC team. Going down okay, that's our team, so we're a little bit biased. We got everybody coming back who played last year. We're a known commodity, bullets on our backs. What do you think, Jeremy?
Yeah, it's tough when you fall from the top.
Now,
I'll say that.
Do you guys have players that are on call for the season, or how's it during the season?
We have we use alternates.
Developmental.
Yeah, we have the ABC
league.
The ABC Softball Academy, where we bring players up through the academy. They're not full time unless they come up through the academy. Until then, they're alternates. They play when we need them to play.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we don't have any borrowing players or nothing like that. It's yeah, they have to earn their stripes.
Yeah.
Usually they just sit on the bench and get wasted. I'm talking about.
All right. Well, they like to smoke weed, so they get really high.
Who smokes weed? I don't know anyone that does that.
But Carrie Samek, she was an alternate last year. It caused a lot of confusion with the Music Saves team. They thought we had our A team and our B team. But, yeah, they always trying to say, oh, when you play this team, you got the A team, then you got the B team. But that was our alternates. Our B team to them was our alternates. They play when they need us to play, which I think is a good strategy. If you have people that show up all the time, have 13 people on your roster and 2 alternates. That's all you need. Right, all right. So moving on from ABC, we've got everyone from last year except one new player. It's an alternate. Music Saves has everyone from last year. Jeremy, would you agree that's a consensus evil empire? I mean, if you're going to be the evil empire, you got to be a hated team that's way too cocky, which they are, but you got to also be the winningest team, which they aren't. So
they are. They're the winningest team in modern day history.
Well, the winningest day streak for sure. They own that streak. Probably won't be repeated ever.
No,
probably not. You know, they went through a rough patch last year. They added a player mid-season.
Who came out of the pen and just he didn't produce like he did in the pen leagues.
No, he did not produce as he did in the penal leagues.
They
That's going to get you shot, by the way.
I think that I think that a couple years ago they were getting a lot more grief than they are now. I think that people are going to be a little bit more accepting of the dancing and the fooling around and the loud ass PA out of the dugout.
I mean, they come correct with the PA for sure.
And
right, well, they're really good with the PA. Their timing is impeccable, and that's what you need.
And they're the only team with a pregame routine. They have a legitimate pregame routine. It's kind of legitimate. Kind of intimidating, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
That team comes at you with the pregame.
I tell my players not to look.
Yeah,
I'm
look.
Don't fucking look. Don't laugh.
They're all wearing matching tap out shorts.
It's kind of intimidating. All right, moving onward, we've got the Blazing Saddles team.
Always a tough team. That's like the...
That used to be Rust Belt Welding. This is a team that's always in the conversation. They could
be any team at any given time.
Used to be Kung Fu Bob's Martial Arts.
Well, actually, from what I understand, sorry, just jumping in here, but the Blazing Saddles team, wasn't that like 6 different teams at like 6 different times?
The Kung Fu Pukalukaville.
Kung Fu Palooka used to be the Flex of It Christmas pressing thing. God. Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things.
Well, it depends. There's not a sports cream in the city for that team to stay healthy throughout the season. So
they're old.
They're aging. They're aging.
I mean, we can say they're old as a collective team. They're average
as a collective team because you know, let's be honest, our league's getting younger and we're all getting older.
Right.
Well, you got to look at the softball years. So Matt's turning 40, which makes him 36, 37 in softball years.
Sports
years.
Yeah.
Right.
Short, don't make a mess of it. 2 years earlier, you look for sense in it. No chances, no plans. I smash the windows of a box. I'll be a madman. So time to be 21. To be anyone.
Let's get through these team previews. Jack Prince is next. Jeremy, you filled in for them last year at one point in time.
I did a lot of testosterone on that team.
Jalowick has taken the reins as the co-captain, who is a very cool girl, very organized. Hopefully their team doesn't implode mid-season like
they're
they
a team that's got strong
years.
girls, and their core is strong, but then they always...
They implode mid-season.
They don't have that consistent
they don't
outer
implode,
core.
no one shows up.
Right.
They're like the 5th seed, right? So they're going to have...
Yeah, they were the 6th seed in the Clark division last year. And they beat Music Saves. The 6th seed beat the 3 seeds.
Which is
major upset.
Pretty huge, yeah. That's absolutely huge. Because Music Saves has been a favorite, from what I understand, for the last 2 years.
Many
3
years.
Yeah.
Evil Empire.
Yeah. And trust me, I heard that. I've only been in the league 1 year.
Oh, and you heard a lot of shit about Music Saves, right?
Blue, you know? Right. Take it for a grain of salt, but, you know.
Hey, guys, I have to go parent right now.
Parent?
Yeah, I got to go parent.
For what?
Is Oscar going to come in when you come in studio?
Oh, God, that would make my life awesome.
Young Jaguar Paw?
Yeah. No, but I gotta catch out right now. But we'll talk later and everything.
All right, really quick before you go, give us your unbiased top 3 finishers of the league. Go. Go.
Top 3 finishers of the league.
Go.
Team wise.
Yes.
Okay. Happy Dog. ABC. Got a groove.
Boom. There it is on tape.
And
we got it.
Those 3 teams could go in any order.
Okay, and then okay, I see.
Hey, Jeremy.
Nice out.
Jeremy, why don't you tell us who's your most feared hitter in the league?
Most feared hitter in the league, Tony Cross, Captain fucking America.
Oh, Commander Cross?
Commander fucking Cross.
Okay, and then one more prediction. Who's gonna finish dead effing last? That's what I want to hear out of you. You gave me your top 3. I want to hear who is your dead fucking last team.
It pains me to say this because I'm on WCSB right now, but when you run with a roster of 33 people and half of them aren't from this country,
Fair enough.
So the league changes. We were talking about the softball, no sunglasses behind the plate.
We were talking about Yacht Rock.
We were talking about fucking Yacht Rock, but no.
We're talking doobies.
The doobs.
The doobs.
Which doobie you be? But
you're gonna talk about how that was the name we forgot.
Oh yeah, Yacht Rock Softball. We were calling that in 2008, 2009. I remember when we had some pickup games. I specifically remember a time where
Our MySpace page was titled.
Right, it was called Yacht Rock Softball for a time. I had a team with Denny Lewalk for a bit there, and yeah, I mean Yacht Rock makes everybody happy. You never get sad when you listen to Yacht Rock. No. And when you play softball, you don't get sad either.
No, so I mean the two go hand in hand.
Right.
So talk about the league changes.
Well, we have very secretive official captains meetings in the wintertime, January, February.
Well, they're not so secretive anymore, are they?
Well, we vote on a lot of important things, and I think we're the only league in the universe actually that has captain meetings quite like ours. At Pat's in the Flats, who just turned 74 recently, by the way.
Yeah, that's right.
Happy birthday, Pat.
Happy birthday, Pat.
But let's see.
She lets us flex our brains in her establishment.
She does. She gives us a safe harbor to talk about sports. Pat has always been super accommodating, nicest lady ever. We're like super fortunate as a league and just like a community to have her. I was thinking about it earlier. There really aren't any places around quite like Pat's in the Flats.
Maybe one day you'll have her on your podcast.
Well, I can only hope. You want to like the Facebook, you go to, you guys don't know the address, do you?
Just / Cleveland Softball.
Just Cleveland Softball.
Yeah. On the Facebooks.
Okay.
You're already, I mean,
most of the people are on there.
Yeah, if you're listening to this right now, then you probably saw that it was.
You got to think bigger, though. This is going to go outside the box. This is going to go outside the league. So the more people, the better.
If you like hot chicks and big dicks.
Cleveland Softball League, Facebook, bitch.
But man, you're just like there's a lot of fiber in this.
I want to thank Jake Kristoff and Matt Jauch for coming in the studio to do the inaugural Diamondbags podcast. I've been your host, Graham Beck, and until next week, keep your balls in the air.